This one simple to-do list strategy is the exact system that I use to go from making $30,000 a year to over $1 million a year to eventually building a business worth over 300 million bucks. It might not be the sexiest thing in the world, as I'll show you in a minute, but it's easy and it works. And unlike the advice of productivity experts, which just show you how to make your to-do list pretty or organized, but still 100% lost about what to actually do, this system actually tells you what to do if you want to make 10 times more money and become 100 times more productive, whether you own a business or not. If you implement this today, you'll instantly eliminate overwhelm, complete the most profitable tasks, and guarantee that you perform at a peak level without burnout. And I'm not the only one. This same approach is used by some of the richest people on the planet. Let's get started. Okay, so this little system right here comes down to 5 simple steps. Step number 1 is the tools that we actually use to implement this actual system. And really there's only one tool, and that's the beauty and the simplicity, and I think why this works. The only tool that you need is a simple piece of paper. For this YouTube video, I'm gonna use an iPad, which is essentially just one piece of paper in this app that I'm using called Notability. And on this piece of paper, what you're gonna do is write down a few things. That's gonna be steps 2 through 5, and I'll show you how to actually go through it. And if you're wondering, why aren't we using any fancy apps? Why aren't there automations running in Notion or on my phone or alerts and notifications and all this different stuff? That stuff is extremely fun to watch YouTube videos about. But if your goal is to actually eliminate overwhelm and make more money if you're a business owner, or raise your hourly rate if you're just a regular employee or someone who just wants to make more money and be more productive, the truth is simplicity is what works across the board. It's what got me from starting a business from scratch. Before that, I was making $15 an hour working in a paper shredding factory, and today I'm now running a business worth over 300 million bucks. And I have never once had a super advanced Notion brain or any of these automations and this kind of whole robotic system managing my day for me perfectly. Like I said, those things are fun to watch YouTube videos about, but in the end, they leave you overwhelmed. They leave you trying to juggle 15 different things, wondering where everything is. When the truth is, you just need one piece of paper to start, clarify your day, clarify your priorities, and decide what you actually need to do. So you're probably thinking, okay, let's get started. What's actually on this piece of paper? The first thing that's on this piece of paper right at the top is your hourly rate. I want that in front of myself. I think you should have it in front of you at all times. And the way you get your hourly rate is take what you make. So let's say you're making $50,000 a year, and you divide that by 2,000 hours, and you get to your hourly rate. What I would recommend if I was you is put your desired hourly rate here is. So let's say your goal is to make $1 million a year, divided by 2,000. Hopefully my math is right. I'm going to write $500 an hour on this piece of paper. The reason we do that is because I want you to remind yourself, I need the same reminder of how valuable your time is or is going to be in the future, because we're not going to do anything that is below that hourly rate, something you can outsource to someone else or that just isn't needle moving, that's not going to get you the results that you're after. If your goal is to make $500 an hour or $1 million a year, then you can't be doing tasks that you could pay someone $10 an hour or that are worth $20 an hour to you, or you will never be worth that. You will never make that much money. So now what's next? What's next is really the core exercise that I think makes this system work extremely well, and it's called the brain dump. And what I want you to do is go through and you're gonna list out everything that is in your brain right now. Things that you need to do, things that you want to do, things that are on your to-do list, incoming messages, requests that are coming from the outside world, anything from paying taxes to paying bills to launching a new campaign to building a website. Anything that you have to do is gonna go on this brain dump on the right-hand side. The secret here is to get everything out of your head. There's something that gives you the mental clarity that you need to have everything written down so that you're not waking up in the middle of the night wondering, oh shit, I forgot to put that on a piece of paper. I forgot to put that in my Notion brain. I forgot to document that somewhere. Getting it down on one simple piece of paper is not only gonna help make this process complete in the end, give you the clarity that you need, but it's gonna help get all of those things out and just take that weight off your shoulders that you probably have right now because of all the things you're trying to think through and juggle at the same time. So for this thing, we will put a couple things on here right now. So let's say mow the lawn. We'll say get a haircut. We'll say oil change. We can say make dinner. So we'll start with some personal things, then we'll go into professional. So I have emails to answer. I have mail plus bills to pay. Need to fix our website, run this new promo, check on our ad campaign, create new product. Say we have one-on-one meetings. All right, so I got my list, everything from personal to professional. I have my little guy's baseball game, a golf outing on Friday. I have a seminar I have to go to, some one-on-one meetings, launch a new product, new ad campaign, a new promotion I gotta run, some website tweaks, mail to answer, emails to answer, dinner to worry about tonight, car needs an oil change, need to grab a haircut, need to mow the lawn. So everything that's on this list is now documented on my brain dump. And so now the question is, what do we do with all this stuff over on the right-hand side? And this is now the fun part that really, I think, is the secret to my success, and I think a secret to a lot of the rich people in the world that have the ability to focus on just the big needle-moving things that drive revenue, create revenue, or make their hourly rate worth more, makes them as a skilled entrepreneur or just person worth more to the outside world, which drives up their actual annual income. And so the first thing we're going to circle is what John Carlton calls Operation Money Suck. John Carlton's one of the highest paid copywriters to ever live. He wrote a great book that I suggest everybody read, and he tells this story about Operation Money Suck. Essentially, in the end, he realized that he needed to clear everything off of his table, that there were so many things coming into his brain dump exercise from the outside world, from his business, and from everywhere else, that were distracting him and keeping his business from growing, keeping him from being able to charge more money. And really those three things that he decided, if I can just keep all of these things on my to-do list, just focus about these and get rid of all the others, that I'm going to succeed at a massive level. And it was things that make him money, things that increase his hourly rate, or things that give him energy to then go do these things. Those are the core three. If you can stick to just those three things, you will be paid more as a worker if you're just an employee, or if you have a business, your business revenue will be forced to grow. There will be no other option. You won't be bogged down by things that aren't making you money, aren't making you more valuable as a human being, or that are draining your energy away. So what we want to do is, I'll use green in this exercise. We're going to go down over here and just circle the things that make money, increase our hourly rate, or give us energy to go do both of those things. So mow the lawn, get a haircut, make dinner, emails, checking the mail, building the website. I'd say website is probably up there. It's going to make us money. Running a promo, launching an ad campaign, creating a new product, definitely. One-on-one meetings, I could make an argument for someone like me who has a big team, that those one-on-one meetings are going to make our business money. I'm going to be able to train those people or coach those people to actually give and make the company more money. Attend a seminar. This would go into increase my hourly rate. So whether it's reading books, attending seminars, meeting with a coach, those things are going to make you more valuable as a human being. The things that you learn are going to drive up your hourly rate, because every skill that you learn makes you more valuable. Golf, I'm gonna circle this one as well. And Cooper's baseball game, both of those, again, for me, golf is just a place where I can go to kind of escape, to kind of relax, the same as watching a movie, just to relax and chill, gives me the energy I need to go do the money-making things. Obviously, my kids' baseball games or daughters' dance recitals, for me personally, I'm just not going to miss those things. And they do actually give me energy. Any parent probably knows. You watch your kids go have fun and succeed in life, it is maybe more fulfilling than anything else. So that definitely gets circled on my list. Create a meal plan, no, definitely does not. So you can see right off the bat, I have a bunch of things circled and a bunch of things not. So my to-do list is already cut in half. Those are the things that I'm going to worry about. So the next exercise is called The One Thing. This, again, is maybe one of my favorite productivity business books of all time. Concept of The One Thing is essentially, you think of a set of dominoes, that you could have a set of dominoes that get twice as big every domino. So you could start out with a little tiny domino and end with a domino that's the size of the Eiffel Tower. And you can actually make the Eiffel Tower fall down with a little 1-inch domino if you stack them in the right order in ascending size. And so the principle here is that there is usually one small task that can knock out almost your entire to-do list, or an entire group of tasks in any to-do list. And so your job is to figure out what is that one thing. Let's say that you have a bunch of tasks in the fitness side of things. You want to take care of your health. You want to make a meal plan. You need to pick a day to go to the gym. You need to join a gym. You need to get some accountability. You need to figure out what exercises to do, what food to eat, what intervals to eat and work out in, all the different things in the health side of things. Well, there's one little domino that you could probably do and just hire a personal trainer. Someone who takes care of all those things, that tells you what food to eat, when to work out, how to work out, all the things you need to do to accomplish that entire set of tasks with just one small task. The same thing in the business side. If I look at some of these things on my list, there's things with our website, a promo that needs to be run, an ad campaign, create and launch a new product. There's probably one person that I could hire to take care of all of these things for me. That is this little domino here that ends up knocking down this huge domino of all these other tasks that I need to create. So I always want to have this saying in front of me. I think you should have the same saying in front of you, that what is this one thing? Which task that I can accomplish can eliminate all of the other tasks or make them way easier. Put yourself through that mental exercise and you'd be shocked at how many times you can actually look at a list like this over here and actually see underneath the surface that one little task that if you just focus on that, it knocks down a bunch of other tasks on your list. So once we have this, the next step is to either outsource or ignore everything else on that list. And so in this scenario, I'm going to put a little black arrow next to everything that we can outsource and a red X next to everything that we can ignore. Now, look, you might not be in the financial position to outsource all of these things, but my advice to you is even when you're first starting out, even if you're on a $50,000 a year salary, that there are things on this list that you could outsource. And the first place to start is go put on everything on this list that you don't have circled that is high value or urgent that you need to take care of, that makes you more money or makes your hourly rate go up. Put the actual dollar amount that it would cost you or cost somebody else for you to pay. Put the hourly rate next to these tasks. So for me, we have somebody mow the lawn right now. I think it's $200 a month. They cut it twice a month. They probably get it done in 2 hours. So it cost me $50 an hour to get them to do this. The haircut, I mean, this is probably $60 an hour. Oil change, I don't even remember how much it cost me to get my oil change, but let's say $100. Make dinner. There's a meal service that we use that is about $12 a meal. So multiply that by 5 people in the family. Let's just say $60 an hour. And really it's more like $30 an hour because it would take me and my wife probably 2 hours to prep, cook, clean, do everything else. So I'm just going to say $30 an hour there for me to get that off my list. Manage my email. You could find somebody on Fiverr to probably do it for $5 an hour, but let's just round up and say 20. Same thing for answering mail and paying bills. Scroll down to create meal plan. That's kind of the same thing we had up above. So what you will notice is that most of these other tasks that are bogging you down, even some of these down here, I could probably go find a great web designer for $50 an hour to take care of the website. I could probably hire a fantastic marketer or copywriter at $200 an hour. I mean, even if it was $500 an hour, it'd still be worth it, but to run this promo. Our ad campaign, you could put a cost per hour there if we went through this exercise. So on and on, all these you go through this process with every single one on these lists, and you always compare them back to what is your desired or current hourly rate, and ask yourself, why are you doing any of the things on this list? If your goal is to get here, don't do anything that is below that list or as infrequently as possible. Get these things off your to-do list and keep your mind focused on what your hourly rate is or what you want it to be. And so again, I know some of this might sound crazy to go pay someone to do all of these things for you, But just imagine taking a few of these things off your plate. I haven't mowed our grass in probably a decade. Obviously, most of us who never cut our own hair, but even now somebody comes to the house to take care of that just to save me the 30 minutes, every couple weeks to go drive and actually get a haircut. We spend an obscene amount. I think last time I checked, it was $5,500 a month on whether it's meal delivery or meal prep or, it's having someone else take care of a bunch of the food that we need in this house. And that might sound insane, but again, when your time becomes extremely valuable, those are things that you can, and in my opinion, should take off your plate so that you only worry about tasks that are worth $500 to $1,000 to $5,000 an hour type tasks as your business gets bigger and bigger. And so once you go through this exercise of what to actually outsource, then honestly, my best advice is everything else on that list that you just ignore. And I know that might sound crazy to just flat out ignore these things, but two things. Number one, you're not actually ignoring them. They are now written down on a piece of paper. You should do this exercise, I think, at least every 2 weeks. Every week is probably even better. So you're not actually ignoring them. They're written down. You won't forget them. You might forget them, but at least you have them down to keep in a notebook or keep them near your desk. And honestly, even if you do forget, it's not the end of the world. There's actually a running joke inside of SamCart that I am one of the least responsive people on our company internal Slack channel, and definitely via email. Almost everybody that works here knows not to send me emails because I frankly don't even check my SamCart email anymore because it's just chaotic. It takes me too much time to go in there and even get a lay of the land at this point that I just said, look, I'm gonna focus on just the tasks that are worth thousands of dollars an hour to this business. That's what I'm worth. Those are the things that I should be focused on. And I think you should be doing the same thing. That if something's truly urgent, just because you're ignoring, a bunch of Slack messages or emails, the things that are truly urgent and important, that are really high value amidst all the noise and thousands of other incoming alerts and notifications that you're probably getting, just like I'm getting, the most important ones and most valuable ones will surface and somebody will bring them to you. They'll pick up the phone and call you. They'll continue to ping you until you just get so annoyed that you actually answer or pick up the phone. It's not going to be the end of the world. What will be the end of the world, the worst scenario, is that you actually pay attention to all of this extra noise and you don't focus on these three things. What is actually going to make you the most money? What's going to increase your hourly rate, and what's going to give you energy. So to take this one step further, what I do is after I'm done this exercise and I go outsource all of these things or anything down here, I look at what I have now circled and I look at how do I rank each one of these by how easy each one is and what is the actual payoff. So if the payoff looks something like this, where this promo might be a $1 activity, the website might be $1, but the ad campaign might be, a super high value $3 activity. The new product might be a 2. The one-on-one meetings might be a 1. The seminar might be a 2. That's how I kind of rank them here. I put a dollar amount next to them. And guess what? I'm going to either ignore or delegate these low value ones, and I'm just going to focus on this one thing. I'm never going to have more than 3 things on my to-do list. That's what your goal should be. If I move all of this down, I will show you what your goal should be, is to identify the 3 things that you need to focus on right now that are high dollar activities. And that is the only thing you should be working on. And you should be unapologetically focused on these things. If your team comes and is upset that you're not focused on something else, look, unless you made a mistake and you forgot about something on this list and there is something that actually should replace something on these 3 things that you need to focus on, then fine, mistakes always happen. But for the most part, as the owner of your business or as the person who's in control of your own destiny, if your goal is to drive up what you are worth and to make more money, this list is your responsibility. You're the owner and you know best what needs to be on here. And you should be unapologetic about things that are on this list and not worrying about anything else that somebody else might have as their priority. Just because it's on their list does not mean it needs to be on yours. Focus on this and you will become more productive than you ever thought possible. And people will ask you the same way they ask me is, how do you get so much done? The truth is I don't get so much done. I'm not putting in 150-hour work weeks. Like, it's not possible. I don't have the time for that. I have 3 kids. I'm as busy as it gets. I have the same amount of time as everyone else. I just relentlessly prune what is on my list and only focus on the things that make our business the most money, that generate the most revenue for every hour that I put in. And I make sure that I have enough things in the gives energy category so that I'm always at my peak. That the harder things that you do, the things that are the most valuable to your business, like the ad campaign in this situation, that's the highest value. Those things take the most creativity, the most energy. You need to have a lot of time to think about it, to get creative and solve that problem. And that's why I have one day in the middle of my week that's all for meetings and every other day is wide open. Because when things that are this important and this needle moving are on your to-do list, you need entire days to think about them and do them, to do the research, to actually complete them and not just end up, we tell the bridge story all the time, to end up with a bunch of uncompleted bridges because you're working on 15 different things. You need to keep your list simple. This is not the sexiest to-do list strategy on the planet, but it is simple and it will make sure that you are focusing on the right things, the things that are going to drive up what you're worth, that are going to make you and or your business the most money, and things that are going to fill you back up, to give you the energy that you need to actually get the most amount of incredibly important high priority activities done. So look, I know simplifying isn't sexy, but it scales and this works, and it's how we've gotten SamCart to the point where it is today. And it's the reason why I use the same exact process today that I used 15 years ago when I was first starting out. So give it a try. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.